Hey guys, so I just got back from 5 weeks backpacking. I went to Nicaragua, Guatemala, England for a concert. I got to see Lana Del Rey, and then I went to Colombia. And so I'm gonna do my Unpack with me video. I got back a little over 2 weeks ago. I filmed this video and then I realized I left out a lot of stuff, and so here I am refilming it. So we're gonna start with the clothes that I packed, and we're gonna go through what I actually wore versus what I didn't and what was just kind of a waste of space. All right, we are gonna start with tops. So first top I brought was this little black tank top. She's thrifted. She's cute. I wore it a couple times. Next I have this. I brought this as a cover up. I got it in Costa Rica and I did not wear it a single time. It pretty much just remained in the very bottom of my bag the entire trip. So next I have this little jersey. It's jersey tank top, a basketball jersey, and I tried it on and I wore it for like 5 minutes and took it off. It just really wasn't the vibe and didn't really go with anything, and I was not really a fan. Next is this teeny tiny little brown tank top, and I did wear it a couple times, mainly just as a swimsuit cover, but I did end up wearing it a few times. Next up is this little denim kind of button-up jacket, button-up vest. This is one of my favorite tops that I own, and I did wear it a couple times. It gets kind of hot because it's such a thick denim, obviously, so it gets a little bit warm, but it's really cute, so I was a fan. Next was this little blue tube top, blue-green. I didn't wear it once, didn't wear it a single time. It just didn't really go with any of my pants, so I was just not a fan. Next, I have this dress, and honestly, I completely forgot I even packed it. It literally just sat in the bottom of my suitcase the whole trip. I totally forgot about it. Next up is my favorite t-shirt that I own. This is this vintage thrifted, I believe it's from Urban Outfitters originally, t-shirt. My parents hate it. Every time I wear it, they tell me it looks like I got attacked by a dog, and why haven't I thrown it away yet? It's my favorite. Fun story to go with that is I was at Mr. Mullet's in Guatemala, at Lake Atitlán, and it's one of the biggest party hostels. And I sat down to go to the bathroom, and someone had overflowed the toilet. So I just kind of sat down and pissed water, shit water, but yeah, it was pretty gnarly. It was pretty disgusting, but we love her. She's still my favorite shirt. Next, I have this little blue tube top. My friend actually has the same exact one, so that was kind of funny. I literally put it on one day, and I was like, I'm not really feeling it. I changed. I met up with her in Antigua, Guatemala. She was wearing the same shirt that I was just wearing a second ago, so that was funny. Next, I have this cropped off-the-shoulder t-shirt. I didn't wear it a single time. Basically, I either wanted a long, big, baggy t-shirt or I wanted a tank top. So there was no need for a cropped t-shirt. Next, I have this dress from Urban. It's the cutest thing. I love it, and I regret to inform you I did not wear it a single time. I did pull it out and try it on once when I was in Colombia. It was like my last night I was going out. I did try it on. I was gonna wear it, but I ended up not. It's a little bit short. The short's built in, but it is a little short. And in Colombia, I was just like, out of all the countries that I went to, there was the most catcalling in Colombia. I was never uncomfortable or felt like my safety was being risked per se, but I just did not really want my cheeks like hanging out and to get, unwanted male attention. Yeah. Next I have this tank top. This is super, super cute. I love it. Also thrifted. A lot of this stuff is thrifted. This one's super, super flattering. It's very flattering on your waist. Super comfortable. I wore it a couple times. I wore it in Antigua for sure. And I think I wore it in Colombia a time or two. Next, I have this kind of off-the-shoulder tank. I didn't wear her once. I packed her and it was potentially going to be an outfit I was going to wear to Lana, and it just didn't happen, and I never wore her while I was there, so it just never got worn. Next up is the classic Arizona State jersey. This shirt's been like one of my favorites since I thrifted it freshman year. I wore it all the time. It was just so incredibly hot, especially in Nicaragua, that I would just end up wearing this and athletic shorts, or just athletic shorts and a sports bra around the hostel most of the time. This is just so hot, and this is such a massive tee. I just get a lot of air circulation. Next is this tank top. This tank top, I thrifted her also. and I didn't wear it. I tried it on once and I really hated how it looked. I thrifted a bunch of stuff and then didn't try it on before I packed it, which is definitely on me, but I didn't wear it. I do recommend a black tank top though, of course, just maybe one that fits right and looks cute, because this was not the vibes. Next, I've got my Hard Rock Bali t-shirt. I'm really glad I packed this. It's a dark color, so when it was really hot and I was kind of sweaty, it didn't really show the sweat, which was nice. I wore this a lot, especially in Colombia. I wore it when I went paragliding. I wore this shirt a lot. Next, I have this little cropped button-up t-shirt, and I only wore this once. I wore it to a hostel-sponsored party, beach party. I did wear this over my swimsuit, but that was the only time I wore it. It just wasn't really the vibes for me. It's cute, but it's just a swimsuit cover, so I ended up not really wearing it. Next, I packed this little tank top. It's rip curl, front and back, super cute. It was an oversized tee that I thrifted like a couple years ago, but I cut it into a little tank top, and I did wear it a lot. I wore it a few times. It was often a swimsuit cover up, but it also was just very cool. It kept me nice and cool, and it wasn't super hot, so it was great. And lastly was this little Dare tank top. I brought it on the off chance that I would exercise. That I'd do some form of working out the entire 5 weeks I was traveling, and I did not, so it never got worn once. Okay, now for pants. I brought 4 pairs of athletic shorts. I actually lost my favorite pair. I hate the brand Fabletics because I worked there, and it was like for like 3 weeks, and it was the worst job I've ever had. My manager was horrible, and it was just a tragic experience. But I got my favorite pair of athletic shorts from there, and they're gone. I do not know where they went, but they were my favorite pair. But I brought like 4 pairs, and like I said earlier, I wore these every time I was in the hostel. Pretty much all I was wearing was athletic shorts. It was just so hot, especially in Nicaragua. San Juan del Sur, I'd get out of the shower, I'd be standing there, and I'd still be wet for like an hour because of how humid it was. It was gross. So definitely recommend these. Next, I brought one of my favorite long black skirts. I've had this for a really long time. It's from Target. And I didn't wear her once at all. That was the skirt I was gonna wear with that black tank top for the Lana concert, and I just like got there and I didn't want it. I just didn't like it. I will show later when I'm going through my souvenirs. I'll show what I got from what I actually wore for Lana. I bought a dress while I was in England. But I do recommend bringing a long skirt, even though I didn't wear mine. I highly recommend it. Just for if you're doing like a day thing and you don't want to deal with anything short, because you just never know you never know how the men are gonna act where you are. So I definitely do recommend a long skirt. I just didn't end up wearing it, and I don't recommend a white one because of the laundry aspect. Next, I brought my favorite pair of pants that I own. They were my mom's in college. They're these super wide leg. They've got like a little, can't even see really, like a ruffle a little bit. I did not wear these at all. It was just too hot. And as we'll go through, I'll tell you the 2 pairs of pants that I wore when it wasn't hot, and it wasn't these. And also, it's definitely my fault because I did not pack any shirts that actually looked really cute with that. I had one laid out that I was gonna bring, but I ended up not bringing it, and that would have looked cute with these. But yeah, essentially, there's nothing that looked good with these pants, so I never wore them. All right, these were my most worn long pants. These linen kind of cargo-y pants from Target. Oh my god, these are my favorite pair of pants that I own. I usually travel with them. They're usually my airplane pants. I wear them on the airplane when I wasn't wearing my sweatpants, which I'll show later. And I wore those around the hostel in Colombia and Guatemala. I tried a couple times in Nicaragua, but it was just too hot, so I ended up having to change again. But in Colombia especially, I wore these a lot, and it got kind of cold in Guatemala at night. So here in Hawaii, like the lowest temperature it's really gotten that I've been around is like 69 degrees, which is just, it's like what, 20 degrees Celsius, roughly. And it got to like 67 in Guatemala. So I was pretty chilly personally. Again, I know that's not cold for the normal person, but for me, it was a little chilly. So I definitely got to wear these pants a lot. These are like the slicky material. I wore these to do Acatenango in Antigua, Guatemala, the famous volcano hike. The reason people go to Antigua is for this volcano. And I ended up not being able to do it. I had a whole phone debacle. I broke my phone. Sorry, I didn't break my phone. My phone broke. I didn't do anything to it. And it started spazzing out. And so anyway, I got a lint phone. My friend gave me his extra phone. That was great, but my parents did not want me not having a phone. So I got to Antigua, Guatemala, flew the next day to the States, flew back the next day, and so I had 2 days basically in Antigua, Guatemala, which is probably why Guatemala ended up being the lowest out of my Latin American countries, is because I didn't have enough time to spend there. But I get really bad altitude sickness, and you need 3 days to take the medicine, and I only had 2 days there. So we ended up not getting to do the hike, so I didn't wear these pants, and it sucks because they took up a lot of space. Next is this little brown skirt. Loved her, wore her a lot. Again, like with the dress in Colombia, I did wear this one day out in Colombia when I was in Cartagena, and I got a couple, ooh, muy guapa, and just some unwanted attention. But that goes with anywhere in Latin America, I feel like. Just any girl, if you don't, it was just a little short. It was just a little short. So just keep that in mind. If you don't get uncomfortable, it was nothing aggressive. So if you don't mind getting a few little like hollers and shit, like, go for it. But I kind of regretted it when I was in Colombia, at least. I had this little mini denim skirt. This looks like it's shorter than the brown skirt. It's not, it's just really low-waisted. This I wore all the time, super cute. Highly recommend a short denim skirt, or long one if you want, but I really liked this. Next are my favorite pair of jeans. They actually got holes in them. I think it's from someone's cigarette butt, so thanks a lot. So I had to buy a new pair, but surprisingly, PacSun had basically an identical match, so I'm really lucky, because these are from like 4 years ago. But I got a new pair. Anyway, wore these all the time. Didn't wear them once in Nicaragua. I genuinely did not think I was going to be wearing any of the pants, and I was like, damn, I could have fit all this in my like 40-50 liter backpack. But I did end up wearing these all the time in Guatemala. Literally right when I got to Antigua, I was wearing these. I wore them a couple times at the lake, and I wore them in Medellin, Colombia as well. All right, thick leggings. These I also brought for the hike, and didn't do the hike, but I did end up busting the fuck out of my knee, scraping it open when I was in Ometepe. So week 1.5 of my trip, basically, of the 5 weeks. 3 days later, I was going volcano boarding in Leon, and you hike up an ash volcano. You're hiking up a volcano, and it's full of ash. And I did not want that shit getting infected. My goal was to get not sick once, to have no medical issues my whole trip, because I didn't get medical travel insurance. So my dad was like, you don't need it. And everyone I met did have it, but they were all European and Australian and New Zealand, so it's probably different when you're not from the States. But anyway, I ended up wearing these on that little volcano hike to do volcano boarding, because I did not want that shit getting infected, and so they don't take up much space, so it's fine. Next are my favorite shorts that I've bought ever. They're these cargo shorts from Amazon. I did wear them for sure. I didn't really wear them in Nicaragua because they show sweat really bad, and it was just so hot in Nicaragua, and I just did not really want sweat stains on my butt. Like, that's just, I mean, me personally, I don't think that's that cute. I don't really think that's attractive. So, yeah. We didn't wear them that much. But in Guatemala, I wore them all the time, and Colombia, I wore them all the time. And when I was in England, pretty much all I wore was the jeans, because it was really cold there. That was like 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Not sure what that is in Celsius, honestly. But, yeah. And lastly are my UH sweatpants. Yes, I wore these all the time. I wore these on almost all the planes. A couple of my hostels did have AC, which was really nice, and so it'd get really cold at night, and so I'd wear those. God, I rewore them a lot. I did not do laundry as much as I should have. In fact, if my mom saw and knew how much I was rewearing my clothes, she would probably die. Like, she already can't fathom that I stayed in hostels. She thinks they're like rat traps. She would die if she knew how little I did laundry. But it's fine. If it doesn't smell, it's not gross. And I don't think re-wearing your sweatpants is the end of the world. Anyway, next we're gonna do some souvenirs. One of them's in my room. So I'm actually so mad at myself. I forgot to get a souvenir in Nicaragua. So I didn't buy, like, I collect magnets and I didn't buy anything in Nicaragua. But I'm very lucky because at least for my volcano boarding, we got a free shirt. A lot of things in Latin America, like bar crawls or like activities, a lot of them come with a free shirt. So I did it through Bigfoot Hostel, which I'm not sure if any other company actually does volcano boarding. I stayed at Bigfoot, and I'm actually in a following video gonna do a review of all the hostels I stayed at and kind of how I feel, and do a review of the cities as well. But anyway, the shirt, the chicken bus, it turned into a party bus at the end, and I would love to attach some clips of the party bus. But alas, in case my parents see this, they don't want to see that. It was very crazy. Highly recommend though, after you do the volcano boarding, the bus back just turns into a party bus, and it was a lot of fun. And at the end, you could pay $12 extra to go to a beach party, which, fun fact, you weren't even allowed on the beach. So I'm not really sure what that was about. But it was a great night. It was actually one of the highlights of my trip, so I definitely recommend doing that. Next is a super, super, super wrinkled, because I wore it yesterday, t-shirt. It was from Medellin. I did the Comuna tour and Comuna 13, and basically it's just this, Medellin. It's really cool. Got a magnet, just says Comuna 13. I needed one because I didn't get one for Colombia yet, which is a lie. Actually, in Cartagena, I also got a magnet. So good on me for remembering when I was there. In Colombia, I collect soccer jerseys or football jerseys, and so I got a Colombia one, of course. Had to add to the stack. In Guatemala, I also got a jersey, which I really like. I wore this in England a couple times. I just wore that with jeans because I didn't have too many t-shirts, and they were also pretty dirty. So like I said, I didn't do laundry enough, and it got to the point where I was like, I don't want to rewear this, so I got this and I wore that. Then of course, I got my merch from the Lana concert in Liverpool. I really like this shirt, it's pretty fire, so I got that. Next, in San Juan del Sur, there's the famous pool crawl called Sunday Fun Day. It's kind of the main thing in San Juan del Sur. So I got a free tank top that came with my ticket, which was probably like 30 bucks. And you get $25 tattoos. So I got a matching tattoo with my friend. We got little flame tattoos. And that was actually such a comical night. I ended up meeting this girl named Paige, who became love her so much. She's such an icon, and also love the girl I got the tattoo with. Miss you, Luca. You were my twin flame, hence the flame tattoos. But at the end of the night, we were at a fake it till we make it point, and we finally made it, so it was fun. We have the dress I wore for Lana. I got it at Primark, which I think that's how the Brits pronounce it, Primark. And I loved it. It was really cute. Next, when I did the Mr. Mullet's bar crawl, I got this shirt. Free shirt, but again, it was 30 bucks, but it was free alcohol, so it was worth it. Next, I brought a giant microfiber towel. Next, I brought a giant microfiber towel. No, bring a regular towel, please. If you bring one of this size of a microfiber, it takes up the same amount of space as a regular towel. That does not dry you for shit. I would stand in the shower for 10 minutes drying myself off, especially in Nicaragua, and I would not get dry. I was literally constantly dripping in water still after my showers. It did not do jack shit. Bring a regular towel. My mom convinced me not to because it'll get mildewy and smell, but dude, just bring a regular towel, hang it up to dry. I don't have to wash my towel at home every day. I don't wash it. It just sits there and dries. Just hang it up to dry. You have places to dry your stuff. You have hooks in almost all your dorms. Yeah, don't bring a microfiber towel. I hated it. One of my biggest regrets of the trip. And then also I forgot souvenirs. I got this in Guatemala. I got a little magnet. So, okay. I brought, I believe it was like, I was supposed to only be gone a month, but I extended my trip because I wasn't ready to come home and job search. So I was supposed to be gone only 4 weeks, and I brought, I believe, 14 pairs of underwear or so. And I'd say that was a fair amount. I did one time run out of clean underwear, but every hostel I think that I went to, you can pay to do laundry, you pay by the pound. And so that was just my fault for not utilizing the laundry service and just waiting till last minute. But 2 weeks of underwear for a 5-week trip, and it was fine. It worked out good. So apparently I did not buy enough storage on this new phone. I thought that I would be good with 256 gigs. Yeah, so I just had to delete a bunch of videos, which kind of sucks. But that's okay because we need to finish this video up. Next we're going to talk about bras and sports bras. I brought like 4 bras and I brought like 4 sports bras probably. And then I brought pasties also because a lot of my shirts are, they're not, you know, one bra strap showing. Anyway, so I brought that, yeah. And I'd say that was probably a good amount. I wore the sports bras way more than the regular bras for sure. But definitely recommend at least 4 sports bras. Socks, oof, I brought like 14 pairs probably, and that's probably a good amount, maybe more, but that's probably fine. If you're going to a lot of beach towns, you won't need as many because you'll be wearing flip-flops, but I was in a lot of inland cities, so socks were a must. Swimsuits. So I was in beach towns probably 12 days, 14 days. 14 days, and I brought like 7 swimsuits. Originally my plan was only actually San Juan del Sur, and I was there like a week and 2 days, and I brought 7 or 8 swimsuits. Yeah, girl, you don't need that. I recommend your 3 favorites. I recommend bringing your 3 favorite swimsuits, and that's all you need. One piece, I did bring one piece because I did do a little bit of surfing. Not really a fan in Nicaragua. Hawaii surfing's way better. So I brought 3 pairs of shoes. The first pair are these. They have tea bags in them because fun life hack, putting tea bags in your shoes will like eliminate the smell because I didn't feel like washing them. I hate washing shoes in the washing machine. These are actually hiking shoes that I bought solely for Acatenango. Didn't do. I was worried I was going to regret buying these. Why am I putting my hands on the bottom? Ew. I thought I was going to regret buying these personally. I did not. Love them. I wore them anytime I wore tennis shoes. These are what I wore. It was either this or my flip-flops. Love these. They're the Merrell. Aw, this thing came off. They're the Merrell brand. They were like 80 bucks, but I love brown shoes and they looked really cute with almost all of my outfits. Next, I got my flip-flops. I have a pair of Reefs that I really like. They're really nice. They're like kind of a leathery vibe, you know? I was not about to bring those. So cheap, like $10, $5 flip-flops from Amazon. Yeah. These are the shoes that I brought. They were mainly for Lana. So these stayed in the bottom shoe compartment of my backpack, of my 40-50 liter backpack the whole trip. I only wore these in England because I could wear my other ones the whole time. But this, like, they took up a lot of space, but I did want to look my best for Lana. And those hiking shoes would have looked ugly with it, and flip-flops, obviously not. So I don't regret bringing these, but if you're not going to England for a Lana concert and you're just backpacking Latin America, you only need 2 shoes. I wore the hiking shoes anytime I went out. But at the same time, I don't think I ever dressed up once when I went out. I wear t-shirt and shorts always. Alright, so head accessories. These are my favorite. So I'm a headband girl. This is a rare occasion of me not wearing a headband, but that's just because my hair looked good today. I always wear a headband, especially because I sweat a lot and so my hair gets greasy and I didn't have any dry shampoo. So headband solves the issue. So the first one I brought was this. It's super long. I don't want to elongate it because it's a pain. But I wore it with my yellow and blue bikini mostly. Super cute, love it. And then this is the iconic headband of the trip. Half the pictures I took, you'll catch me in this headband. Fun story with the headband, actually. I was in San Juan del Sur first, and I ended up on Ometepe Island in Nicaragua. And I was not a fan of the island, but you'll find out in a video why. It was just me, so it's not that I don't recommend going there. But I went to El Patal, which is a hostel and a chocolate farm and a vegan restaurant. Yes, I'll do a review later again, but go there. Even if you don't stay there, go there. Yes. But I pull up, I sit down in this little chair, and I look over and I hear May. And I'm like, oh my God, Alex? And this was just the first run-in I'd had. I didn't know how common it was to run into all the same people. So I'm shocked. I'm like, Alex, and I'm wearing my sunglasses, which are not gonna be in the picture that I feature because I know what picture I'm gonna put since this is the second time filming this video. They're not featured, but I was wearing sunglasses, I was wearing a cute little outfit. I was like, how'd you recognize me? And he was like, the headband. So this was my iconic headband. Always wearing it, or the classic Yankees hat. This little guy is going with me everywhere. She has seen the world. I wear it all the time. So you will either catch me wearing a headband or you'll catch me wearing a hat pretty much the entirety of my trip. Or you'll catch me in both, which will be seen in the official Sunday Funday photos. It was iconic, and my friend and I looked like rappers. Next, we've got the sunglasses. Fun story about those. This is my fourth pair. My first pair were my favorites, and I sat on them and broke them. Typical. Second pair, they were ugly as shit. I got them in Leon, Nicaragua. They were so ugly. I hated them. So I threw them away because I got a third pair. And then I lost the third pair. So I had to buy a fourth pair, and they made it home. So, thank God. Another little fun thing was a lot of the hostels, they give out stickers. You had to ask, but you can get them. I got this from Ola Ola, which is my first hostel. Then this from Mr. Mullet's. It literally says party hostels, that's what it's known for. And then this from my Comuna 13 tour. Love them, collect them. All right, so moving on to toiletries, toothbrush, toothpaste. African net sponge is a must. It takes up no space and it's the perfect way to clean your body. Halfway through my trip, I lost mine. I don't know how. Either I left it in the shower and someone threw it away or took it, but I'm 99% sure I brought it back to my room and hung it up. But then I had to leave to go get my new phone, and I already paid for my room, so I just left my shit there, flew back, and it was gone. But bring in that African net sponge for sure. I love me my mascara and eyeliner, but I only wore it at the Lana concert, so to each their own on if you want to bother bringing makeup, but I only wore it for the concert. I didn't wear it any other time. My skincare, I am not a skincare girl. I have one product I use, and the brand is Alegria Soaps. It's a Costa Rica brand. I got it in Tamarindo at their store. I'm a diehard fan. Not sponsored, I wish. But it's their acne salve. Salve? This thing is amazing. I love it. That's the only skincare product I use. I just get it right after I wash my face. I use this. It's my favorite. Jewelry, I just wore my stack the whole trip. There was a couple more that we added during it, but I honestly don't know where they are. And then I also bought this, which I think is beautiful. I got it at a street vendor in Cartagena. Be prepared to lose your earrings. I got 2 new piercings when I got back. I pierce my own ears when I'm bored. But I lost these. Both of these I lost. These are new. I had to rebuy them on Amazon. And then I lost like 2 on this year and like 2 on this year. Mine are just pearls, so it was easy to replace them. But you're probably gonna lose your earrings if you wear a lot and they're not hoops, so just be prepared for that. I'm gonna get on my laptop because the first time I filmed this video, I missed a lot of shit. So we're gonna go find my packing checklist. Okay, rain jacket. I bought one, and I didn't wear it ever. I don't know. It rained a few times on me in Guatemala because it was rainy season. But it was just to like when I was going to the pharmacy or when I was buying a bag of Takis, because I ate a lot of Takis down there for sure. I'm a sucker for Takis. But it'd rain on me or when I was eating pizza. It's just not the end of the world to me. I bought it for Acatenango for the hike, and again, I didn't do it, so didn't use the rain jacket. Yes, you need a fanny pack. So I got this one from Amazon. So I like this one. It has the buckle in the front. So the whole trip, this is all I'd bring, and I would just wear it like this. Never worried. Well, I was always a little paranoid for sure, but I say paranoia when you're traveling keeps you safe and keeps you alive. So better paranoid than naive. Yes, it held my wallet. It held my EpiPens because I have a peanut allergy. It held my allergy medicine like Zyrtec for my allergy. Held my inhaler sometimes just in case. I don't really have bad asthma anymore, but I just wanted to be safe and keep it just because you never know. And I was always wearing this. This is what I wore out to the bars. I did not bother bringing a purse. This was it. This, and I don't think I even packed another bag. I had my backpack, my suitcase, my fanny pack. Oh! I really hope my phone doesn't fill up with storage again. I think I need to upgrade. Or my dad said put it in the cloud. I don't really know. I don't know when that happens. But I have this Kavu bag. I know these were like all the rage a few years ago. It's got a big pocket here, a medium pocket here. I put my friend's phone in here sometimes, and then I put like my lip product here. I use this. This was like, I put all my airport stuff in this. So I would fill up my fanny pack. I'd have my wallet, I'd have my passport in my fanny pack, and then I'd put that in here with like a book and stuff, which I never read. I brought 2 books, and I probably read a chapter the whole trip when I was laying in a hammock. That was the only time ever. But definitely bring one of these. I would recommend also an actual backpack for if you're doing a hike, because I brought a suitcase and I brought my 40 or 50 liter backpack, which I'll show in a second, and I didn't bring a regular backpack. So when I was doing like the hike, it was just kind of hard because that's kind of small. So you just kind of gotta figure that out on your own, what you actually, yeah. Anyway, here's my backpack. I'll look it up and let you know what size it actually is. But so this is that shoe compartment I was talking about. Got a whole open thing here, which is where I'd put just anything I didn't have to worry about being stolen. This buckle right here where I'd clip my hat to it. It has water bottle holders. So one side I had all of my tampons, because naturally in 5 weeks the girl's gonna have to deal with all that. Yeah. This one I put all my portable chargers. I brought 3. One of them's amazing, and literally by some fucking miracle, it has both a regular iPhone charger and a USB-C, because my new phone, it's a USB-C charger. So I was so fucking lucky. I was so blessed. But my other 2 chargers didn't work, so that was a waste. But yeah, that's what I put in there. And then I put my water bottle in the other. You don't need a water bottle. So most hostels have filtered water, all except my last 2, the Viajeros. Every other hostel had filtered water. And so honestly, I bought a plastic bottle, and I pretty much refilled that for like half my trip until I lost that water bottle, which again, my mom would die if she knew. So yeah, I would just kind of reuse the same water bottle. But so you don't necessarily need a water bottle. Probably shouldn't have brought one, but that's okay. Anyway, this has a back pocket here, which is where I put my passport, which I'll talk about safety, I guess, in a minute. Just a super brief overview before I go into it in another video. But that's where I mainly put my passport, and I'd put like my stickers just so they'd stay straight. And then there's this top pocket right here, which is where I put like my disposable camera. I put 2 of my meds, just the ones that needed to be the most accessible. I kind of put those there. Yeah. All right, a big one for me was a phone strap. So not one of those like trendy, like beaded ones, but a genuine, just like regular. All right, we ran out of storage again, so I need to figure out how to sort this. That really sucks. Anyway, I don't know where I got, but bring a phone strap so your phone doesn't get yanked. That's really important. I was really glad that I had a phone strap the whole time. It was just black, went with my phone case. Definitely recommend one. Trash bags, bring trash bags. I brought 4, I only used 2. You can put your dirty clothes in it. It's perfect. I would just throw my dirty clothes in it, and then if I didn't wash them before going to the next place, I would just roll it up, shove it in the bottom of my bag. Or if you had damp stuff still and it was a travel day, there you go, put it in a trash bag. Then wash it immediately unless you want it to mildew, like my stuff did, because again, yeah, I'm a little gross, I guess. Headphones. I brought my JBL Tune Flexes, which are like a cheaper version of AirPods because I can't really afford AirPods right now. And I brought wired headphones. Both are a must. I recommend both, honestly. I wanted to bring my Beats, but they take up so much space and it just wasn't worth it. So I just brought those 2 things because the little JBL Tune Flex case just fit in my fanny pack as well. So disposable. I highly recommend bringing a disposable camera. I did actually really pissed at how all my photos turned out absolute shit. It's like the flash didn't work or someone's finger was on the camera. So I maybe got like 2 good photos. That's it in my entire roll of film, but I do recommend one. I also recommend a digital camera. I ended up not bringing mine for a multitude of reasons, mainly because it's the converter I have is SD card to USB-C, and I wasn't bringing my laptop, and then I ended up getting a USB-C phone, so I could have brought it. So I recommend bringing your digital camera if you have one, if that's your thing, or just use your phone. I brought some unscented baby wipes, if you will. I thought those were really, really nice and useful. If I ever felt a little bit gross, I would just kind of wipe myself off. It just was nice. I definitely recommend bringing some baby wipes just because you're traveling so much and you don't always have time to like shower. If you're just a quick turnaround, you know, and you're not like disgusting, I definitely recommend baby wipes. I brought mini hair ties and butterfly clips, and I ended up not really using them at all because I was always wearing a headband or a hat. So I didn't end up needing any hair accessories, but you know, I brought them, I thought I'd use them, and I like never did. And then lastly, I do recommend actually liquid IV. I would totally recommend bringing liquid IV. You get really dehydrated all the time because you don't just, if you're not in the hostel, you don't have access to water unless you buy it, and it's kind of expensive. Not compared to American standards, of course, but I just didn't want to spend money on water. So a liquid IV definitely would have helped me, or if you get really hungover, you know, as it happens. That would have been nice to bring. I didn't bring those. But they have electrolytes pretty much everywhere. They always are selling them there, so you can easily just get that. That's what my friends had to drink. Dramamine, I definitely recommend. Motion sickness medicine. I used it once when I took the boat to Amatepe. It's like a 45 minute boat ride. And when I went, it was a storm. Not a storm, it was raining. So I'm getting absolutely drenched in water. I'm just sitting there getting totally washed over. It's raining, my suitcase, my backpack, everything's getting wet. And it was chaotic. But my friend had some motion sickness medicine and probably saved me because I get really bad motion sickness. Yeah, so that's everything on my list, which means I actually covered everything in this video, which is great. Very proud of myself. And so yeah, I'm gonna do a video on reviews of my hostels, reviews of the cities I went, because there was a lot of stuff. I did a lot of research, and my research did not tell me a lot of stuff that about these cities. So it's gonna be definitely a good informative video. But yeah, so that's it for this video. I'm gonna get on filming the next video soon. I really need to. It's just I've had a lot on my mind with job searching. So yeah, that is all for this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.